let me start this one off. We finally did it. Arsenal
We did it, man.
finally beat Liverpool in about first time in about six tries. We haven't even scored against them in the last like 5 or 6 games, home or away. Liverpool usually nullify everything we do. They were so much better than us in the past couple of years. They got much more physical players. So like we be playing Lacazette up front against Van Dijk. Like I said, I can't run, can't body no one, just stands in the same place, no movement. We play Saka, young Martinelli against their fullbacks. We just overmatched every single time we played them. But last night was going to be a big test. We've been playing well. We were at the time at the start of the game with 7 wins out of 8. We played well in every single game. Played well enough to win. I would say every single game. So
7 wins out of 8. What was the one?
yeah, we lost against United, but we played well. We
Oh,
played well
oh.
enough to win the
Slow
game.
down.
So everybody's saying, watch me get a big test. We've passed the first one against Tottenham. People saying Tottenham's going to win the league. Well, title contenders to start the season. We beat them. Liverpool. Everyone said the second test is Liverpool. We went into the game. We went 1-0 up very, very quickly. Great passing move. We went up the pitch and Odegaard slipped Martinelli in. It was a great goal. Great finish. Great start to the game. Liverpool came back into it. They played basically 4 strikers. They played Diaz, Jota, Nunez, and Salah up top basically, and they kept feeding the balls down our back line. And boy, it was a tough 25 minutes for us. Thiago was bossing that midfield. Thiago was dancing like a ballerina in there.
How old is he?
Like 30, 32, I think.
Fam, that top's grey, bro.
When you been in 5 Champions League finals or something like that, you'd be stressed out.
Yo.
But yeah, he was bossing it that first half. After we scored, it was all Liverpool peppering us. They eventually got the goal. It was expected, so it is what it is. We're playing a good team. Liverpool are no joke, regardless of their form. They're no joke. So 1-1 was decent. We actually nicked a goal at the end where we broke away. Saka good goal. So what I felt like going into half time, it felt like we can compete with these guys. We just need to stop losing the ball and be more composed in possession. But it's difficult against a good side like Liverpool. Going into the second half, we were playing well. We actually started to dominate the ball, get more comfortable. That goal for Firmino was crazy. That pass from Jota, he gave him the eye. Saliba was in no man's land. He didn't know what to do because Firmino wasn't on no defender. He was like kinda behind Partey, ahead of Saliba. So it's in no man's land. You can't go with Firmino. You can't drop too deep. The movement was crazy. The finish was even better. So, and Firmino's been scoring a lot of goals this year.
He's moving mad this season.
Liverpool 2-2, but then it was all Arsenal after that. We got our foot down on the ball. We started playing our football. We pushed them back. We got a penalty, but people saying penalty was 50-50. It was very, very soft, but what we did up until to get to that point to win the penalty, we caused so much chaos in their box that we deserved the penalty because not many teams give Liverpool that kind of chaos in their box for them to make a mistake like that. So I thought we created our own luck there. And Saka, Starboy Saka, especially after what happened with England, he took a penalty against Chelsea, scored, took a penalty against Man United and scored, took a penalty against Liverpool and scored. So he's just stepping up. He's been a leader in the team and I love it. Martinelli, man of the match. Martinelli stole the show. Had Trent, got Trent hooked. He might have been injured, but Trent was hooked regardless.
He was hooked.
I think Trent was injured, but it was a mental injury for him.
He changed his name to Trenches, bruv. He got hooked, bruv. He crap.
Boy. Like, let's move on. Joe Gomez came on, did his thing, but Martinelli was amazing the whole game. Jesus caused problems for Van Dijk and Matip. Partey was good. Xhaka was good. Tomiyasu absolutely just pocketed Salah. They hooked Salah too.
The Egyptian ghost, man.
Have you seen belly dancer, bruv? I told you, but he's a belly dancer, bruv.
It's either AFCON But he's either AFCON or the new contract that's made him not play well, man. What is it? What do you man think?
Fam, you know,
I've always said, yeah, his stats have been amazing, but he's not that great.
Well, outside
And
the goals, isn't it?
outside the goals, he's not that great. And when he's not scoring, you see what Real Salah's about. Don't do nothing. We just don't do
That's
nothing. Like,
why.
it's
That's
just not
why
scoring.
I always had Hazard. I prefer Hazard to
Yeah, Prime has it over Salah.
Salah. But that's another whole other topic. But yeah, man, it was a great statement win. It was an obstacle that we had to go over. And yeah, man, I'm not saying we're title challengers, but we're damn good. We're a damn good team. We're good players, good coach. Yeah, just ride it as long as we can.
yeah. To be honest, I would say Arsenal are title challengers. They're the second best team in the country right now. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Chelsea are rising up though, but right now it's Man City and Arsenal. But good game from both teams. Quick start from Arsenal. Shimika's got caught out for that first goal. But yeah, that's the worst possible start for Liverpool. 1-0. Give credit to Liverpool because after that goal, in my opinion, they dominated the game for that spell between the first goal and the second goal. Diaz was causing major problems. Major problems. He was giving Ben White a lot of issues. Partey had to come out and help Ben White as well. Yeah, Diaz got Partey booked as well. So yeah, Diaz was a big problem. Big problem. He was a big part of why they were looking like the better team, in my opinion. Darwin Nunez as well. His movement was very good, causing problems for the Arsenal back line. He did get caught offside a bit too often for my liking, though. He needs to be a bit more disciplined in that sense. But you can see the off-the-ball movement is there. He will be a major threat if he continues to do what he's doing, and Liverpool continue to provide him the chances. He will get goals.
Quickly, sorry, I like this new style Liverpool are playing. It's basically just saying we're playing all our attackers, go defend it, and I like this better than what they were doing before.
Yeah, I will say with the team selection, Jurgen Klopp got it wrong. Henderson in 2022, I don't know what he's thinking. I do not.
It's Henderson and Milner though. Who are you gonna pick?
But I thought Henderson had one of his better games against Arsenal.
He wasn't bad first half.
He wasn't bad first half. He was actually playing well.
In my opinion, he should have started Fabinho.
What did he do when he came on though?
Yeah, he didn't do much when he came on, but I think they would not have conceded 2 goals in the first half.
I think where Liverpool lost the game, was the injury to Diaz and taking of Salah. Because Salah was ghost, but even if Salah's ghost, you got to keep him on. Because that guy can still get goal.
I disagree. I think
for Harvey Elliott.
No, not Harvey Elliott. The Portuguese kid, Fabio Carvalho. I think
it's a big game, man. It's a big game. Tense game.
James, what's his name? Henderson on the right. I don't know.
What I remember, people in the group chat were saying, why is Arteta making those subs? But I said to my boy, who other than Tini on our bench, I don't trust Norman to come on and to make a difference. And that game was so intense. That was like a Champions League game. It was a crazy intense game. So you can't just go to the youngsters in that situation.
But then if it's such an intense game, why take off Salah when you know that guy can get a goal at any moment? He's a goal threat the whole game. Because once he came off here, there was no one to run in behind. He left, what's his name? South Sakara was isolated up top. It just felt that he gave the game was done.
I hear that. But let's talk about the defender for the second goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't know what he was thinking. Like he needs to communicate. He needed to have communicated with Henderson there. You can't just go there and do what you want to do. He was in a good position to defend the middle. For some reason, he went out where Henderson went to a useless position and got caught out. And then, Saka came in at the back post to the finish. But I heard some Jamie O'Hara at TalkSport. He was saying that Trent, his defending is League One level. You agree?
It's harsh. What I will say is that I wasn't for this, but it might be time for Trent to go midfield, man, because he can be protected there. I was never saying that before, but imagine Trent in that Henderson role yesterday. The balls Trent will be spraying in Henderson's position. Maybe it's time for them to buy a proper right back
It might be time.
because
Well,
he's been bad for a while defensively.
yeah, I think they either need to buy a new right back or they need to solve the problem that I've been screaming all season. A midfield, they need a new engine room in that midfield. Because
Yeah,
shout out to John Barnes because he was saying it as well. I was so happy
yeah,
someone else was saying it.
yeah,
He said Liverpool's defense, the reason why they were so solid defensively in the past is because of their midfield, the engine room. They were
yeah,
able to, the intensity in the press meant that you couldn't get to their back four.
yeah,
And when the left back or the right back, Robertson or Trent would go forward, one of them would cover.
yeah,
And they have the athleticism to cover adequately. But now the profile of their midfield has changed. You can't be doing intensive press with Milner, Henderson in 2022, Harvey Elliott as well. He's not that profile of player. So it's a transitional period for Liverpool. Yeah, tough times, but they keep playing how they played, especially in the first half. They'll be fine. They'll be in and around the top four battle.
I think it was a great game, but Arteta outsmarted Klopp in that game. I think Klopp kind of threw the game away, taking off Salah for me, and Arteta made the right substitutions when it was required. But I think Arteta outmanaged Klopp in that game. It was as simple as first half when Arsenal went up 1-0, Liverpool dominated afterwards. Up until halftime, Liverpool were dominating. I don't know what Arteta said to the man at the interval, but they came out a different team. They came out more intense and they were more confident on the ball, playing their actual football. Because the first half, Liverpool just taking the piss. They were just dominating, playing. It was like schoolboys, just babies. Arsenal was a little boy. And I think the Trent thing, Trent is an abysmal defender. But pushing him up, it just kills Liverpool. You can't. What they need is what you said, Dens. They need a new midfield and engine because you need Trent there at the right position because he offers another attacking impetus. Already they got that top four, and then you got Trent coming as well. That's more problems you have to deal with as a defending team. You've got all the men attacking you, and you have to worry about that overlapping Trent as well. If you move him up top, further up the field, you lose that. You're gonna lose that from what he gives you. And I think as well, you have to look at Van Dijk. He's not the same. Because he's so poor, he lacks confidence in defense. He's not as vocal. And in the past, you can hear him shouting at Trent. You can hear him kind of orchestrating the back line. But now he doesn't even do that. Because before he would have told Trent, stay, but he wasn't doing that. And Trent made that bozo run. Only God knows why he run. Because he panicked. Trent panicked for that goal. Because he was like, I'm the right back. I should be there. Exactly. So he made that run to go where he should be. When he should have thought to himself, okay, I made a mistake and I was out of position, but Henderson's covered me. Let me stick where I'm at and let Henderson show my man to his weaker foot and then kill the attack. But then he run and then allowed Martinelli the space to run into and do what he needed to do. That's bozo defending. That is League One defending. I don't even want to be offensive to League One players. That's probably like Sunday League defending. You don't do that. You see someone is ushering the player onto his weaker foot. All you need to do is, okay, my guy's got there. Let me stay here. If he gets past Henderson, I'm there to cover. You've now gone behind Henderson for what? What you look? Is there a present behind him or something? What are you looking for? Why are you there? Now you left all that gap in the middle. Van Dijk has been pulled away by Jesus was making a mad run, pulling the Van Dijk away. So now there's a gap. And he exploited it. So yeah, Trent, only God can help that guy, man. But yeah, my observations, I think Darwin Nunez's first half was good. His runs, he just pulls defenders left and right, man. Gabriel was so worried.
Mm.
He was worrying your back line. I think, his runs is just crazy. But Arsenal, I hate to admit it, man. Title contenders. I hate to admit it, but Arsenal title contenders. Arsenal have grown cojones. They've grown a pair. Like, their team, they're not scared. When Liverpool came back 2-2, the old Arsenal would have capitulated. They would have been frightened. They would have let Liverpool come and take the game away. But this Arsenal were like, nah, we've got the beating of this team. They believed in what they had. And I think it's due to the manager. I don't know what he's saying to these men, but they believe in him. The crowd as well, the atmosphere, the Emirates, you have to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give it. Fam, they sang.
Yeah.
The Emirates is mad. The atmosphere of the Emirates, it's mad.
I've never seen it like that.
Yes, honestly.
It looked over capacity. The
Capacity
was over than what is usual.
This is the greatest atmosphere we've had since Emirates, throughout the whole Emirates era. For that's nearly
15 years.
It's coming up to 20 years. Well, 15 years. So
yeah,
I actually genuinely feel Arteta's trying to create Anfield. I really do. Because we even got a song that we play ahead before the games, just like "You Never Walk Alone." So I feel like we're literally trying to create Anfield.
Yeah,
whatever he's trying to create is working.
I was impressed by the atmosphere because
the atmosphere is crazy.
As soon as Firmino got the equalizer, you heard the crowd lift up the team. I was like,
and they were feeding off it.
Different this season,
they were feeding off the atmosphere.
Yeah,
like even when I went to go watch Arsenal United, the Arsenal away fans, they were singing non-stop. They were just at it, and I was thinking, "What? These men are really out singing us at Old Trafford." And you could hear the ultras at Man United like, "No, we're not going to let this happen at home." But Arsenal fans, they're really galvanized, and I feel like the managers installed a sense of belief within the fans. Yeah. The fans believe in the project that's happening.
And the thing is, this has been since pre-season as well. I was saying there's a different energy around Arsenal this season from pre-season. You can see it. The signing of Jesus and Zinchenko just brought the team up. Yeah, man.
There's something about Arsenal this season, man. Like and I think the greatest thing that team has done is that Amazon documentary. Last season, when it was announced, everyone laughed. But that's probably the best PR that they've ever done, because when you watch it, it puts Josh Kroenke in a good light. Like, he's working with Edu and Arteta to bring in the right players. And when Arteta lost the first 3 games, how he put his arms around him, like, listen, we believe in you. That PR was mad. When Arteta had this beef with Aubameyang, they're like, you know what, we're empowering you to do what you need to do. It's crazy. So it's great PR. Arsenal looking a threat, but we still dealt with my Old Trafford. They came, but they tried to think, bruv. Yeah, but we sent them home, bruv. 3-1.
Let them know.
Bruv, get back to North London, bruv, or South London, your original roots, bruv. Go back, bruv. Can't come to Old Trafford. Do you know who we are, bruv? But no, Arsenal legit. That's what I'm saying, bruv. Legit. I hate it.
Man, you might chill. It's only 9 games. 9 games. Let me get the marker for us is if we get to World Cup and January, that's the 2 markers we want to see where we're at. But we got favourable games up until the Chelsea game. My hardest game in the next 5 games is Chelsea, and then it's the World Cup. So
the game I'm looking forward to is Arsenal versus City, because the way both teams play, it's gonna be an interesting game. Can Saliba deal with the threat of Haaland? Listen, your Arsenal fans are celebrating when Man United got clapped 6-3, saying, "Oh, look at what Haaland did to you." Yeah, my mum once said to me, "A flogging delayed is not a flogging denied." You're not gonna get that flogging from Haaland, did it? A flogging delayed is not a flogging denied. Haaland is out here, bro. Everyone's getting a taste. So your turn is coming, isn't it? Your turn is coming. But no, I want to see that game.
But just one more quick one before we move on. We mentioned earlier the Egyptian ghost, Mohamed Salah. What did you say last week? Sononymous. Salah anonymous, fam.
Ghost, bruv.
Why has Salah not performed to the standards that we're used to seeing him this season?
I've got a theory. I think he hasn't performed to his standards because Mane's not there. Mane was a player that pushed him because it was that internal rivalry between them. Remember, there was a point where they wouldn't pass each other. They kept trying to outdo each other. Like Salah would be in an open position, Mane would shoot, and vice versa. That rivalry is not there for him. There's no one there that people are like, yeah, Mane's the best or Salah's the best. Right now, Salah's team. Before it was both Mane and Salah. So it's like now that it's his team, he's kind of they've empowered Salah. Even after the AFCON, when Mane won the AFCON, they didn't celebrate him because of Salah. Because like, oh, we don't want to upset Salah. And then they gave him that new that deal. So it's like they've over empowered him. They got rid of a better player in Mane to appease Salah, and now he's just chilling. He hasn't got that rivalry because Diaz is not really out here trying to press him for the position. Nunez is always fighting someone. It's just Salah's team, and he's not. He's comfortable. He needs a person to come in there and try and take the team over, like a Mane, and then you might see the better Salah. That's what I think. Because when Mane was there, Salah was moving mad.
For me, it's just a real domino effect. I think starting from two main points with Darwin Nunez, that's one. Because he on the ball isn't the greatest. You don't really want him to get involved. What you want him to do is running behind. So Salah can't run it behind or make focus on scoring. If Darwin Nunez needs to do that too, Salah also needs to get help him build up and maintain the width and be a proper winger. So he's not always going to be in the box. Another thing is that the midfield isn't as good as it used to be. So remember back in the day, Trent would push right up and then Salah come in a bit. Trent's not pushing right up. He is trying to push up, but he can't fully go up and just go free. And Salah just can't be free moving around just trying to score because the midfield isn't really there anymore. So yeah, so I still think Salah's a top player, but he needs certain conditions for him to be proper impactful, I'll say.
No, you make a point because I think if you just think back to it, because Trent is not making them overlaps like he used to, it's not pulling defenders away from Salah. So now defenders can focus solely on Salah and deal with him and neutralize him because Trent's worried about defending now because the engine room in the middle is not there to cover him. So now his defending stuff has to be done. So he's trying to exert energy running back, leaving Salah to do more damage. So he's still a belly dancer today, man.
Where both of you make great points. Yeah, I'll just say the runs that Salah was making, Nunez is now making. And now Salah has to facilitate those runs that Nunez makes. So he has to play those balls instead of him making those runs.